So I wanted to talk about the top decks to get Legend in Ashes of Outland so far. We do have a lot of statistics now thanks to Vicious Syndicate. They just released a report, so thanks to them. I'll link them in the description below. Be sure to read that report. It's very lengthy and goes into great detail, more detail than I can go to in a video. Also, before I get into the detail, let's look at this tweet from Ixar. He says there's going to be a patch early next week, and they're going to change Battlefriend, Altruist, Glavebound Adept, Kael'thas, Bad Luck Albatross, Frenzied Fellwing, Open the Waygate, Blood Bloom, and Sack Pact. And it's also going to include a buff to Libram of Justice and a nerf to Millhouse in Battlegrounds. So this should maybe make you not want to craft decks yet. I still want to make this video though, because I think this patch is going to shake things up quite a bit. And then we're not going to have data for a little while. And we also have no idea when this patch is actually hitting. So early next week. So again, don't craft anything, because there's going to be a patch, but I thought this video might be enjoyable regardless. So let's look at the class distribution here. So much Demon Hunter, not really a surprise. I think everyone's just seeing a ton of Demon Hunter. It's kind of getting annoying, I guess, for some players. I have a lot of people in my chat coming and complaining about how many Demon Hunters they're seeing and how they don't want to play until there's a patch and stuff like that. But really close, well, I guess it's not really close, 28%, and then 15% we got Warlock, right? A lot of Warlock, because Warlock just seems to be doing great. They do have Sack Pact, which can destroy Demon Hunters and just make these huge swing turns. And then we got Druid. Spell Druid, super solid. Big Druid, pretty good. Spell Druid, I think it's better. Other than that, they kind of just fall off. So yeah, it seems like the main class is just Demon Hunter, Warlock, and then Druid. We look at Diamond ranks 1 to 4. It's kind of about the same. And then when you go to Legend, it's even more Demon Hunter. And not only the aggro Demon Hunter, but a good chunk of the combo Demon Hunter, which is kind of, it's a steep learning curve. It's a very difficult deck to play. So that's maybe why you see it more in the Legend ranks. Let's look at frequency. We can see right off the bat when the expansion came out, so many people were playing Demon Hunter. And then they came out with a quick nerf, hitting Demon Hunter a little bit, not enough, but it dropped it down to only 30% of play. Well, 27.83, which is still a ton. And then again, you can see Warlock really close. And then way there at the bottom, Paladin. My God, no one's playing Murloc Paladin. I don't know why. I think after these nerfs, Murloc Paladin might be a little bit scary. All right, let's look at these power rankings. Let's look at Diamond 5 to 10 first. Aggro Demon Hunter, Control Warlock, Dragon Hunter, and Spell Druid, all in tier 1. All very strong decks. And then top of tier 2, we got Highlander Hunter, and then Highlander Rogue, Galakrond Rogue, and Highlander Mage. So all these decks are solid picks if you're trying to just get, to Diamond 5. Aggro Demon Hunter and Control Warlock are always going to be the best. Let's look at Diamond 1 to 4. Again, Demon Hunter and then Control Warlock in the tier 1. And then we have Spell Druid at the top of tier 2. And then a little bit down, we got Galakrond Rogue, second spot in tier 2. But yeah, Aggro Demon Hunter and Control Warlock are kind of just dominating the meta. We look at Legend here. Again, it's just Aggro Demon Hunter and Control Warlock. Like, I'm playing and I'm seeing, so many Demon Hunters and Warlocks. It's kind of ridiculous. Let's look at this Metascore graph. I love this graph. On the X-axis, we have the power score, and on the Y-axis, we have the frequency score. So what you're seeing the most of, and then how powerful it is. So way to the right, we have Aggro Demon Hunter. Also at maximum frequency, you're just seeing so much of it. And then a little bit to the bottom left, you do see Control Warlock. What I usually like to do is find a list that's pretty far along the right, but also really low down on the Y-axis. So in this example, it would be Dragon Hunter. Dragon Hunter doing pretty solid here. And actually, I got a video of that on my YouTube if you want to check it out. Just released it yesterday. Yeah, so let's look at the matchup win rates here. And green means it's got a good matchup. Red is a bad matchup. And you can see along the top there, Demon Hunter, Aggro Demon Hunter, pretty much no bad matchups aside from Control Warlock. And because Demon Hunter is so prominent, Control Warlock being the only bad matchup, that's why you're seeing so much Control Warlock. Now, they didn't get enough stats for the Eggro Warrior that's been popularized by No Hands Gamer, but that list does seem to be a bit of a counter to the Aggro Demon Hunter as well. So I think if that deck got more time to flourish before, these nerfs come in, I think Eggro was gonna end up being tier 1 as well, as more people picked it up and started messing around with it. So keep that in mind. All this stuff didn't have a lot of those Eggro statistics. So I'm going to jump into some of the decks that are doing really well right now. I usually jump into one from each class, but again, nerfs coming out. I'm just going to cover 4 different classes, 4 decks that are really killing it right now. Before I do that, I do want to mention this Shuma hoodie, which is a redesign of my tattoo. It's available. If you want to get it, it's only available for like 6 more days or something, 7 days. I'll link it in the description below. And yeah, okay, so we got Druid here. Now, big Druid is pretty okay, but spell token Druid, I really like this deck. And it's also relatively budget because everyone has Kael'thas. Really, the only thing you need to craft is Glowfly Swarm. That's an epic. Are there other epics? Anyways, it's relatively budget. Basically, you got a lot of spells. You ramp up with Overgrowth, use Glowfly Swarm, flood the board, buff it up, your opponent deals with it, do another Glowfly Swarm, maybe hit it with the Soul of the Forest. That's hard to remove for anybody right now. If they deal with that somehow, do Forest Aid. You know, between the 2 Forest Aid, you got 4 board floods, and then once one finally sticks, you buff it up and you slap them in the face, and then they die. Now, this is kind of insane with Kael'thas. Now, Kael'thas can just really pop off. You got a lot of cheap spells. Your Iron Bark and your Bog Beam, they end up being 0 mana, so you can like Kael'thas, Iron Bark, Bog Beam, Overflow, Iron Bark, Bog Beam, Forest Aid, Innervate, Soul of the Forest. And you could do really crazy stuff. So however Kael'thas ends up getting nerfed, may destroy this deck, or maybe it won't hurt it too much. We'll have to see. We don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, if you're trying to climb before these nerfs hit, this seems like a solid choice because, I mean, it's kind of budget, right? Glowfly Swarm, I do think will constantly see play in Druid. I think there's always going to be some sort of like spell token Druid. Kael'thas does make it way better, but you can win without Kael'thas. We got Agro Warrior, this one popularized by No Hands Gamer, and this one's really cool. I enjoy this because it feels just like a fresh list, you know? You get great value out of Rampage and just damaging your own minions, risky Skipper for clearing Demon Hunter things, as well as hitting your own guys so you can maybe not only buff them up, but, you know, cycle with your Battle Rage. We got the Corsair Cash, which will pull the Ankar because the Ankar can pull the Skipper and the Raider, and it also can pull the Live Wire Lance. Lance just, you know, it's a value machine, man. You just get all these lackeys. Lackeys are always great. And yeah, I mean, you got the eggs on the board. You can eat the eggs with your Terran. You damage all your minions. You hit him with the Blood Boil Brute because he's going to be discounted. And then you can duplicate the Brute, or you can go Kor'kron, enrage that, and duplicate the Kor'kron. And what's really cool about this list is the Imprisoned Vile Fiend. Like, no other list is running this card, but it seems like a really solid performer. And I hope it starts seeing more play in general. Like the dormant minions are kind of cool. All right, next up we got Control Galakrond Warlock. Now this deck, you're probably seeing a ton of it, and it's really not too exciting to me personally because it's like the exact same list as pre-expansion with the exception of the Moarg Artificer. Now, some people are slotting in the Overconfident Orc over the Bad Luck Albatross, which makes it feel a little more fresh. But if you just want something to deal with all these crazy demon hunters, this is going to be your go-to. You got the Sacrificial Pact on top of great ways to deal with all these boards. You can deal with big minions with your Plague of Flames. You can deal with wide boards with your Dark Skies, your Crazed Netherwing. And then you can heal up like a ton with the Moarg Artificer and then hitting something with a Nether Breath that's going to heal you 8. Worshipper is crazy for cycling through your deck. And you might be wondering, oh, why is Zephyrus in here? Why is DQA in here? Well, because you cycle through your deck so quickly that you're usually going to get value out of your Zephyrus and your DQA. Galakrond does seem a lot stronger this expansion. The rotation of the old cards and the inclusion of all these new demons, you're usually going to be pretty happy with your Galakrond. Sometimes you're going to hit these dormant minions and it's maybe going to screw you over, but in general, I've been pretty screwed against Warlocks playing Galakrond. There's a lot of huge demons right now. But yeah, this list is incredibly consistent. I'm very intrigued to see how it works after the rework of Sacrificial Pact or whatever, but I feel like it's still going to be fine. Warlock just has a lot of great control tools with, you know, the Dark Skies and the Netherwing, and they have the Crazy Cycle and Lifesteal, and it's solid. Plague of Flames is nuts, and it just works perfectly with the invokes to Galakrond. All right, so we got Aggro Demon Hunter. This is the deck, you guys. This is the deck if you want to just cruise your way to legend on the ladder. It's probably the easiest time it's ever been, I think. And I mean, if you want to play it it's gonna get nerfed, so you might as well do it now. I've personally not played this list much. I think I've played like 4 games of Demon Hunter, but my god, I've played against a lot of this. Battle Fiend is just stupid as a 1-mana 2/2 that gains 1 attack every turn. It's so good. I made a video on top 10 cards. I realize this is, you know, from the Initiate set or whatever, but Battle Fiend is just, good god. It should be like a 1-mana 2/1 or something at least, right? But yeah, super aggressive. You got the Battle Mage on one. If you don't get the Battle Fiend or the Sigil Runner, which usually connect for a little bit of damage, you got the Spectral Sight for all the draw on top of like the Skull of Gul'dan. You got the Fell Wings, which usually end up being really cheap. You got Kane to ignore taunts, which is super frustrating. Metamorphosis goes face, and Warglaives of Azzinoth actually putting out a surprising amount of damage. No one was really running these a few days ago until the initial nerf. And now everybody's running them. They're so good. And then one of the most troublesome cards is Altruist, the Outcast here, because you wait until later and then you just pop off with Altruist and do so much damage to your opponent's face. Maybe you play Altruist, do a couple Twin Slices, throw down some cheap minions like your Sigil Runner, and you just end up doing crazy, crazy amounts of damage to not only your opponent's face, but their board as well, assuming they have one. We have the Glaive-bound Adept, which is just, you know, it's nearly a fireball on a stick. And yeah, I'm really curious to see the nerfs here because I'm getting a lot of complaints in my chat about Demon Hunter. So I want the rework to be good. I don't want them to kill Demon Hunter. I want it to be a good class with a tier 1 deck, just not, you know, 30% of every game, of all games are gonna be Demon Hunter, you know? So yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks again to Vicious Syndicate for the stats. They're linked below. Shuma hoodies linked below. That's about it. Good luck on ladder and stay hydrated.